So that's officially 40 weeks. That's pretty cool. All right, so we all know what we're doing. Maybe we just jump into the sprint board. I mean, the retrospective board. One thing is our action from last time was choosing 3 posts that could become blog posts. And in our agenda this week were 3 possible ideas for that. And also, Manu is going to write an article about the working groups, something pretty simple and straightforward. So we have some momentum on that actually, but we were able to sort of identify some posts for the Medium channel other than selecting 3 forum posts. Okay, so reminder, tomorrow sprint planning, just label all of the issues that you want to bring into the next sprint. And so let's see where we are with our Miro board. Cool. So, wow, Ivy left us a bell. That's so nice. All right, so I feel like everyone knows how this goes. I'll set a timer for maybe 15 minutes. Did I say 15? 5 minutes. And we could start with the things that went well this sprint. So, I mean, it could be something that went well for you personally or for your working group or for the TEC community. I'll set a timer for 5 minutes now. Maybe I should give time for people to jump into the board. I'll also throw this board in our stewards channel. Okay, I feel like we could probably spend a few more minutes on this. I'd say if anyone wants to continue to add, can you add them towards the bottom of the screen? And maybe we'll get started with the things that went well for us this sprint. So let's see. Shree, how do you feel about reading out the things that went well?
Sure. Okay. Conflict resolution is an incredible door for Web3 / Commons. New contributors making great progress in getting TEC. More people engaging on community tasks. Actions in between working groups. More contributors participating. Edu and Chewy presenting, excuse me, Septi, the TEC at forefront. Ocean DAO asking guidance from TEC stewardship. Onboarding new contributors is becoming easier. Community's working group brings a refreshing energy of new enthusiasts. TEC's DAO to DAO rules. Discord and forum analysis, more participation in the common swarm, Vi and Noggin to issues. Nate's knocked out an excellent blog post. Funding proposals going well. The dashboard is a great tool. Mitch and Lauren are awesome. Param party host, so fun. Param parties. Starting the process of offboarding and having a process to keep stewardship active and present. Fiestas de Param. TEC seen as an example for how to build culture in a DAO. Param parties are becoming part of our branding. Orogeny is the future of conviction voting Param. Gravity participation is huge. Jurgen's gravity call was lit. So much is flowing. Calls being recorded, tweets happening, Param parties, etc. Memes. Impressive to see the Commons working group funding proposal take shape. Feels a lot like they are ahead in thinking post Commons upgrade. Dashboard parties are all over the calendar. 1 year of community calls. Gravity 610 and NVC book club 513. Community's contributors are so dedicated and on fire. New people every call, and usually they stick and come back for more. Token engineering and TEC coming closer together in meaningful ways. Every working group has so many contributors. Constancy from stewards. Common Swarm CVM CRISPR kicks ass. Metaverde on Labs Solidity course. Or our forum is lit. More clarity about post-Commons upgrades. Coordination is getting more and more sophisticated. Collaborative economics is getting academic appreciation. And collaborative economics is blazing a trail.
Awesome. Griff, why don't you get us started on your thoughts about that and your feelings from reading these?
Absolutely. So much is going on. And I want to give, there's always all these new things that are really sexy and exciting, right? But like Zap is always recording the calls. The Acid Laser is always putting on the graphics. Gravity calls are happening every week. We get the tweets out all the time. Every steward is showing up for their calls. Like, when was the last time that a call didn't happen because someone didn't show up? Has that ever happened? It's like these things that we are starting to come and take for granted. I feel like they don't get enough appreciation in our retrospectives, but they're so huge, and it's just this consistency and this love. There's just a deep love for this community, and you can tell from the leadership that people just show up, and that's the hardest thing, especially in this ADD world. I was talking to someone I work with a lot of groups. I won't name names, but they were like, I'm just really busy doing DeFi. And I was like, oh, okay. I've never heard anyone say that. We do those things, but we show up. Of course, people are DeFi or NFTs or whatever their fun stuff is, right? But we show up for our stuff, and it's just huge. And also, collaborative economics is great. I really think that that's a meme that we can bring about and push forward really well. I'll pass it to Chewy.
Thanks, Drift. Yes, I feel there's just amazing momentum in many working groups, and it's just, yeah, like I sense like the external hype is also turning very serious, and at the same time, it's a very great moment to being able to have better coordination and yeah, like developing among the stewards better ways and simpler ways to explain some of the stuff. I just sense that it's a great it's just a great episode in our journey, and yeah, especially the DAO to DAO, I feel is gonna be really good in the near future. Yes, breaking news. Praise Nate and bye bye V. I'll pass it to Edu.
Thank you. I share the sentiment of grief. For me, there is this now that I almost not daily but weekly for sure, I work with YYV, for example. It's like the example that he sets on how he works and the low visibility that he gets, but he does so much, and he proposes and he's proactive, and it's like, yeah, there is this thing we take for granted, but sometimes they are not, and we should in some way or another be aware of them. Besides that, I'm really enjoying this sort of process of how working groups are integrating but working with each other. And I feel this cohesiveness of a system that is growing mature, and a system that is becoming more able to interact and to work together very well. And I like this. So that's my 2 cents on that. And I will pass it on to Mitch.
Hey, thanks, Eduardo. I want to say, like, big time, the Pram parties is like becoming a brand, and like more and more people are coming out of the woodwork, and like these people are actually like data scientists and software developers and like Web 2, Web 3, and like they're just like geniuses, and they're coming here to like learn about what we're doing because like they don't get it, and they're like, what are you doing here? And then when you tell them, their minds are blown, and that's really rewarding to have that sort of feedback from people who, at least from my perspective, seem to be professionals, like coming to us to learn more. And I want to pass it to Livy. Have you gone?
Thank you. Yeah, yeah, so much props to the params and to the development of the dashboard and the structure this is taking and the education. It's really trailblazing, and I feel very excited that this is happening here. And I think I'm always a big optimist, but I feel like the TEC hasn't helped with that. Like I can't have a cure for my optimism, because sometimes I feel like we're building a utopian society here, that it's actually being built, that things are actually working. And every time I talk to people about this, like any problem that comes up, even in politics or society or like high level things, I feel like I always find a solution that it's already being tested in the TEC. So it feels, I always feel so amazed by the level of collaboration we're having to build all of this. And I pass to Durgadas.
I'm not sure what we're doing right now.
Hey, there it
I
is.
just showed up.
Retrospective. So here's your 1 minute and 30 seconds to share what you feel like went well this sprint, so these last 2 weeks, in our community or for yourself personally.
I've been taking time off, so I'm a little disconnected from, the sprint and what we're doing in terms of that. But yeah, I mean, the gravity stuff is always good, and I'm in love with the culture. What we produce is kind of a side effect, and quite apart from that for me. So I feel like if anything, the culture has gotten better over time, which is saying something. So it shows that we're having the right priorities, and I mean, you can always find fault, but there's no point in that, so yeah, well done.
Cool. And I think Zep hasn't gone yet.
Yeah. Thanks, Sam. Yeah, param parties, they are being so fun, and also Sam, like I feel like these both are the boat passes, so it seems like the Borna minting is going to happen. So yeah, that's good. I'll pass it back to you, Tom.
And Juanca.
Yeah, Tam. I like especially how there are a lot of learning opportunities. Like, there are two book clubs, the Graviton trainings, the labs. Like Metaverde is going to teach Solidity, like the TE Academy. I feel like I have a schedule of things that I want to learn at least for like 1 year, and maybe they will change or be upgraded before I get to understand them. But yeah, and like learning about the dashboard, that's amazing. The dashboard is really cool, and it's really comprehensive. So yeah, I feel I am learning a lot, and that's what I like the most. And
Cool.
even I continue learning about NVC and about conflict management, about transparency, about all of the different working groups, about leadership, that all this is, and coordination.
Cool. And then I'll say, I honestly think it's the params parties that stole the show this sprint. So really amazing that they're all over our calendar now, which is excellent. I also want to say, I think the gravity session that Durgadas gave this week was extraordinary, and I can sometimes listen to them but not pay attention. But this week I was like wrapped at my table, just really focused. Really, I feel like I learned a lot and haven't learned even a tenth of it. So I think there's a lot more learning for me to do. The external validation feels really good somehow, that other DAOs are looking to the TEC as how do we get our culture like that? How do we do it how they're doing it? And I think that feels really, I think that we should have some pride because of all the work we put into it, into having this culture for ourselves. And then last, I would say this is something just, steward offboarding has been something that has been difficult because it can feel like people get attached to the title steward. And I think that having this first sort of offboarding will bring some sort of it's a role that people can come in and out of, but it's actually serving. It's a service role. It's serving the community. It's not, it's like a servant leadership position. So I feel like going through the process of offboarding stewards and making sure it feels comfortable to have offboarding, part of our natural rhythm, feels like a big win this week. All right, so we know what's next. What are the things that we could do better? You personally, your working group, another working group, the community. I'm going to set another timer for 5 minutes. Okay, well, we have 30 seconds left. Oh, I'm on mute. Eduardo, do you feel up for reading things we could do better?
For sure. So, here we go. I want to attend more proms parties, even if it is just on the background. The funding is on my mind a lot, but I have to stay patient as it takes form. More DE. Retain engagement from experts joining the community. Offboarding of stewards didn't go so well. There are some communication spots we still need to pay more attention to. Engage DE in a meaningful way. The call announcement bot has some big advantages and some drawbacks. There are still some kinks to iron our before it goes live. That phrasing, I do not get it. We should be branding the parents parties as live talking engineer opportunities. +1 on that one. After playing with the params feels our working groups are unsustainable and revenue from the bonding curve won't be huge. 80K, 82K daily volume and honey. That without even funding projects, which is our mission. Resource allocation for developers. Integrate more with DE Academy and Common Stack. Social media manager. Maybe there is someone already in the community. Each offboarding is unique, and we see they should be handled uniquely. I feel like I am tapping into the dark with governance decisions. There aren't many places to look for guidance as we are doing something so new. How to bring more Gov people in. I hosted 3 params parties where I was all alone. Except I had found my way anyways. Worried about Common Swarm hitting their targets. Outreach to partners, param parties and participation, we will need help. Reward system needs more dev power. Need param parties hosts for next week. Param parties seem like an opportunity to do a roaming Discord adventure. Hopefully we can seize it. Have a clear path for people seeking education. When upgrades are need more Twitter support. Slightly overwhelmed with how many complicated things are on my plate. Cultural TE is incredible, viable, but even when we underappreciate it. So much things happening at the same time that is difficult to focus. Even management is underachieving, so much to do, but not so much distribution. Promoting even more the params party. There you go.
Cool. And maybe we just take a minute each and share your thoughts and or anything specific that surfaces from this. And I'll pass to Chewy if you want to get started.
I guess I feel that like the whole like part of getting the most from the params parties and yeah, just like this whole part, I feel that after these first days of getting like some feedback and also like fixing some of the bugs, I feel that they're gonna start getting more and more just people that are interested in this. So I feel that this feedback like about having even better like organization like around experts or have better even like better communication and reach out to even more communities to attract them I feel that this is really good feedback and things to take in consideration before we start this next sprint. So yes, I'll pass it to Mitch.
Thanks, Chewy. I really think that we're going to have to start looking to new horizons as the CCD development kind of winds down. So what kind of projects are we working on? What are the ones can we cook up? Because I think this is going to be a big part of the perceived value generated by the commons. And to the other part is just jumping in and listening to Angela last week talk about some of this stuff, and it's like, well, how do we engage token engineers in a meaningful way? And so if we realize that they don't have the overhead to give us professional support, what other avenues can we try and get them in and, you know, at least participate in the community? So yeah, I don't have any clear answers, but I will pass it on to Nate.
I'm just going to pass it on to Griff.
Yeah, there's lots of good stuff. I feel like, you know, there's always this like, we need more TE. I feel like we have some amazing TE. I feel like gravity is TE. I feel like there's a lot of magical things that we are doing that are not classically looked at as token engineering, but we're really killing the cultural build, which is part, you know, economics is a social science, and like we're killing the social science side of it way more than I think we give ourselves credit for. And we need more data science, you know, but I think we should start, I think this like, we need more TEs, we need more like data science-y people. And that we should own the fact that we're doing token engineering. Also, there's a lot of this param parties. This is a huge opportunity for us. The dashboard's, you know, not still in test mode, and I think on Tuesday it's going to be like it's live. Like we should really start planning for a big announcement. And yeah, you know, we need hosts. So DM me if you want to be a host. Just tell me times that you can do it. And also, I would love to see us do a roaming party. Like start taking it to other Discords that we hang out in and organize events there that we can promote. And I'll pass it to Wonka.
Yeah, I am not finding the post that said it, but yeah, this one. Like, yeah, we should really think about sustainability, because after playing with the params, yeah, we see like the pool won't last like forever. So yeah, we should think on how to produce revenue too from our activities, and yeah, that's something that stayed in my mind by reading these posts. And I'll pass to Edu.
And can I just interrupt to say everyone can start their voting. So 2 stars, and each star goes on just one specific issue, so not a group of issues.
Okay.
Thanks.
That's it, Honka. Yeah, I like the idea of the prawns party. I share the sentiment of more hosts, but not only more hosts, but more distribution. I feel this is something we tackle from time to time, that it's like we are so excited about the params or any other technological new thing that we are doing, but there is not enough efforts on the distribution aspect of it, and then people don't attend to. So for me, it's about putting the same effort we put on on hosting and creating the params party, and also putting the effort on distribution of this content, or distribution of how we can frame this in a way that it doesn't sound so weird for someone who doesn't know what it is. So yeah, I will say that for me it's about that, and that's it. Oh yes, and the offboarding. I feel that's a very good point. Offboarding should be unique. Offboarding feels like something It's a relationship thing, and we owe that to the person we are offboarding. And Livy?
Yeah, thanks. I just wanted to say that I really agree with Griff on the token engineering part. I think we are like building a lot of token engineering education, and there are token engineers gravitating around. And just also what Angela said, that everyone is so busy, so it's the most produce like the most knowledge we can and collaborate on things here and there with everyone. And there is so much we are producing in the social and cultural side. And on that, I feel like, yeah, like I'm tapping in the dark with the governance sometimes. Like there are things that come purely from intuition, and then it feels a little scary because it gets more complicated with time, and there's not many people that know about it. Like I've been trying to exchange more with governance people from other projects, but everyone is kind of like, what's going on? Where we're going, what we're doing. So it would be great to maybe bring more governance people on board. And okay, my time. I pass to, oh, and I just wanted to say one last thing, that I really think it would be awesome to have the params being branded as token engineering, like live opportunities. And I'll pass to, I think, Tam, you're the last one. Or is that Timus?
Thanks, Libby. Yeah, my mic. I was the button. I want a second one. We were playing with the params, and then we were checking the honey swap. The honey daily volume, and it was like doing some rough numbers. Like it was like, I don't know, 2Ks daily, something like that. Like, and it's our only inflow. Like I feel like, like Juan also was saying before, like it's like we are like, like this is the public sector and the private sector, and the public sector it's only expenses, and then the private sector you have expenses and incomes. And I feel like we are very aligned with this public thing. We only have expenses, and I don't know if that's sustainable in the long run. That's my only concern. I'll pass it to you, Tam.
Cool, and I think I'm the last one. I'll say the sustainability, I love that we have these numbers and we can look at that. That's fantastic. So I think that it's great for us to start even this now, thinking about it and planning for sustainability. The reward system devs need more power really got my attention because we're banking a lot on our reward system being able to reward our contributors. So if we're having any issues, if there's any warning that our reward system is going to off rail or not be ready in a reasonable time for us to start compensating our contributors, then I'm super, super alarmed by that. Or like, I think we should maybe focus on making sure that that rewards is successfully executed. I love the live token engineering. I really think that's cool. And I think that we should go pedal to the metal with that. And then with TE and TEC, Angela and I had a recap this meeting on our weekly around taking the list that we've captured and starting to make actionable items. So there's some sort of progress made there too. And I think it's true. We have more token engineers interested in what we're doing, and I think it's also happening naturally as well. My alarm didn't go off, but I think my time is up. So we have, 17 minutes. So we should be branding params parties as live token engineering opportunities is pretty much the winner with a few, 2-star param parties seems like an opportunity to do roaming Discord adventure. Yes, let's seize it. More Twitter support. Right now we're in a transition as David had to step away. So we could certainly use some support there. And then after playing with the params, feels our working group are unsustainable. So I'm going to set the timer for 5 minutes, and we can brainstorm action items to address these specific issues or other issues that you think you want to share with all of the stewards. And the timer is starting now. All right, so if anyone wants to add some, add them in the bottom, please. And we'll see if don't know, maybe Zeptimus, you want to read the actions to improve?
Yeah. Let me make it bigger. When we sell tokens to strategic partners, 100% of the funds should go to the common pool. Fees earned from liquidity provisions can go to the common pool on a monthly basis. Prioritize parent parties promotion. Credential offboarding process for transparency. Frame the parent party as education. Make sure to invite new members to the parties. Make a list of Discord communities to target. Invite people, projects who have proposed to the forum to the parties. Let's book this comms meeting to look into everything commons, upgrade, and have a distribution plan with a narrative. Yeah, I love that. Brand TE as flower and recognize our strength. Parent promotion on One Hive TV +1. Hook up the TC with larger podcast. Yeah. Bring more to our comms. How culture built is TE. We can set up a donate to the common pool and get governance tokens. Solution. Design more revenue streams for the common pool and for working groups. Schedule parties in other server with the live token engineering combo. Start having governance exploration calls and invite other gov thinkers. Have regular debates about governance. We can explore it together. We should have questions we want to answer and talk about it during 1 hour call. I can host parent parties next week too. I'll DM Griff. Sep. Sell sick merc in the shop. Yeah, love. And yeah, that's it.
Cool. Okay. And I think we might have time for just about a minute for everyone if we want to go around and share some thoughts. And welcome, Anson, to the retrospective for the TEC students. Nice of you to join us.
Yeah, no, I'm learning a lot. Really appreciate it. I want to help with the sick merch.
Oh, great. We could use the help with the sick merch, actually. Fantastic.
Yeah. No, fabrication is definitely my jam. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, no, that's in my
will. All right, cool. Well, let's talk about that after this. With our last 9 minutes, maybe we'll pass around and have some thoughts, and then we'll do the voting on the action we bring into the next sprint. And Griff, I see you, so you want to kick us off?
Sure. I mean, I think Param's promotion is probably like pretty relevant. I mean, I can't wait to see them grouped. I feel like it's like almost a third of the cards, and so that makes a lot of sense. And getting organized around it, like getting a list of discords or really just asking around. And I feel like we can do this in a relatively decentralized way. I feel like if you just like tell me or Mitch, I think Mitch was also talking about supporting this task, but to tell us about the okay, I want to host this here, and then we get it on the calendar, and maybe someone from comms wants to be the lead point there, so we can get all the cool pictures and stuff for the promotion would be great. And I really like the idea of a podcast, getting TEC more promoted on a podcast and getting out there more, especially when the token gets out. I feel like that's huge. Also, I put some crazy ideas for revenue streams that I don't think we're going to have. I think most DAOs have this tendency, like you can see it in Ocean DAO, to overemphasize, like, what are the returns? What's the ROI? What's the ROI? I don't think we'll have that problem. And I'll pass it to Wonka. Or Olivia.
Sorry, I'm chewing. I'll pass to someone else first.
Oh man, 2 for 2. Nate. Edu unmuted. Take it, Edu.
I can take it. I really like the idea of the podcast, and I remember back in the day, Jessica had a few contacts with huge like databases of people who were interested in this kind of stuff. So maybe she can help us with that. And then secondly, I mean, we can even create our own podcast. We talk about this at some point with Tam, because there was this idea about like the tragedy of the token kind of idea for a podcast. And I think that could be really cool to try it out. And I think that kind of things also brings another kind of validation and revenue to the TEC. And besides that, yeah, I will, yeah, I'm good with this time. And I will pass it on to Nate.
I'm not sure Nate can talk right now. He's in an office, in an appointment at his doctor's. So maybe
I can take him now.
Cool. And I just want to say, go ahead and throw your stars up. 1 star, 1 post-it note, and 2 stars each.
Yeah, I'm excited about the pod. I thought about the podcast because every time I see Bankless podcast, I don't know when I set up this notification, but then it comes out every once in a while, and then it makes you want to listen to it. Like it has something about it that it's not like, oh, let's read this huge thing, and you can make it more fun. So I think it would be really cool if we had something like that. And also the branding the params as live token engineering. I actually heard Peter say that in that token engineering meeting we went. And I think people felt very excited about this framing. So maybe if we went to other Discord servers and had that could be really powerful too. Because params is something that it became almost like a slang for us. I don't know if everyone, when they hear params, they understand exactly what it means. I pass to Shu.
Thank you, Livy. Yeah, I'm getting a bunch of ideas for params parties. I'm gonna be hosting 2 in the TEC next week, but I'm gonna make an effort to host different params parties in other communities. So Metagame and One Hive I'm pretty sure they're gonna have a lot of interest. And yeah, like thinking about it, like there has been like so much going on since the last round of param parties that we had and we offered to other communities, and now we have much more outreach to more communities, and I think the spotlight has been really good for that. So yeah, I'll make sure to promote the param parties a lot for this sprint. I pass it back to you, Tam.
So I think Wanka, have you had a chance?
Yeah, I like the idea of framing the params parties as education. Actually, yeah, I think that when you go to a param parties, when you understand really a lot of the things that we need to parameterize, and yeah, we after the params, I think yeah, this collective intelligence can be used to promote the parties and to choose the best parameters that we can.
Cool. And Zeb?
Yeah, thanks, Tam. Yeah, first praise to anyone who posted about the boarding process for the credentials. I already on the agenda. Thank you. And yeah, and I think yeah, make a list for the the communities we wanna target. I feel it's going to be beneficial for like you make the list and then it's easier for comms to reach them out. And yeah, basically like promote this frame of education of the param parties. I think yeah, that's a good action to take. Back to you, Tom.
Cool. I mean, it looks like we have maybe this is the clear winner. The Discord communities. It's clear that promotion of TEC of the params parties is the big winner. I think we ended up with this one, but yeah, I think we know that we need to focus on promoting params and
win.
Cool. So we are at the top of the hour. Update your slides for the community call.
Thanks, Tom.
You know, make it an education thing. Can you? You should come up with a list of like professors. Seriously, like this is the kind of stuff that like you should find a list of scholars and nerds and academics. I love that you call it a param party, but the only people who think this is super fun are some super nerdy folks. And I just think you need to like I think you've got a real winner if you can find some better networking support at some academic institutions. I just think that this is like food for them. You could be doing everybody a solid and get some good alignments there. I'm trying to think locally who that would be, but I just feel like that seems like a great opportunity.
Cool. Thanks for sharing that, Anson.
Thank you, Anson.
All right.